The
Mm-hmm.
person in the middle, they need a little bit convincing. They're like, I want it, but I'm gonna do it next week. Well, then you market to them like, okay, I know that you want to do it next week, but here's why you need it today. Because
Mm.
next week the price is going to increase. Next week, inflation's going to happen. Next week, the economy is going to drop. Next week, you got all these things like, no, 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 today. And the person in the last lane is like, I'm here, but I don't know where my pain points are, so I don't need it. And I'm
Mm.
like here, like saying, no, you need it. And I'm going to tell you why you need my service. You need it because you're stuck. You need it because you don't know how to understand your processes. You need it because you don't have a strategy. You need it because you have a business and you don't know how to make sales. And you need it because this sale is ending today.
Mm.
So all three of those people in those lanes is how you go with identifying how to talk to the objection of the customers.
Over 50% of Black Americans are unmarried, and only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth over $1 million.
We are on our journey to not only join that 2%, but grow that 2%.
Facts. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host.
I'm Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. You can go to our website at them4show.com, our Instagram at them4show, and our YouTube channel at Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making.
And welcome to the M4 Show.
So I'll give you another example of audience identification. So based on my personal story, so before I met Sinclair at the high school that we went to, I was in another school district. I was in Alvord Unified School District. I was supposed to go to Norte Vista High School. That school actually has a daycare center on campus. Mother did not want me going to not a daycare, the high school,
Yeah.
because the population rate of young girls getting pregnant were substantial
Mm.
enough for the high school to create a daycare center. So when it comes to audience identification, knowing who it is that you're serving, so in the public eye, you don't have excuses to not show up to class. Bring your kid, your baby, drop them off at daycare, and come get this education, GED. Do what you need to do, and it was just so interesting because the people that we connected with at middle school, they're like, "Oh, you bougie now because you go into the because our school is predominantly white. I was supposed to go to a predominantly Mexican school. Oh, you
Mm.
think you good because you on the other side of the tracks and all that. Like, look, audience identification, okay?
Yeah.
So that I'm sure their data proved that maybe if we did have a daycare center, the ratio would increase of grads because now there are no excuses or maybe a lot of dynamics change. So audience identification can change a whole lot in your business if you take heed to it.
Oh yeah, and also shows like what extra services are you providing to your specific audience, right? Because the main service for the school was the education. They saw
Mm-hmm.
that the having kids might be a barrier to their primary customers to enrolling, so they added an additional service to help in their primary service.
Look at that. Customer objections. That's what they
Mm.
just did.
Mm.
When there's an objection in the way, you're making it sales. I can't go to school because I got kids. Okay, well, the objection is you can't go to school because you have kids. But our rebuttal is we're going to have a daycare center there. So whenever you're making a sales and someone's like, "Ooh, but I don't have $100." Okay, well, there's a payment plan, $25 a month. Can we do that? Okay,
Uh,
let's do that. Getting over the mindset of I can't do it, but yes, you can. So
Mhm.
usually there's like this three lane, and I teach this in the Unstuck playbook. So there's three lanes. There's the person who is ready to buy from you, right? They're like, yes, I want that offer right now. Then there's the second lane where they're like, I'm ready, but I'm like tiptoeing back and forth. And then there's the third lane where they're just slow, like, I'll get to it when I can. So the way that we speed up each of these lanes is you have the customer objection conversation with them. The person who's ready to buy from you right now, they don't need much convincing. All they need is the checkout link, and please make sure that it's working and all the buttons are knickknacking, and they don't have to DM you for the checkout button. The
Mm-hmm.
person in the middle, they need a little bit convincing. They're like, uh, I want it, but I'm gonna do it next week. Well, then you market to them like, okay, I know that you want to do it next week, but here's why you need it today. Because
Mm.
next week the price is going to increase. Next week, inflation's going to happen. Next week, the economy's going to drop. Next week, you got all these things like, no, 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 today. And the person in the last lane is like, I'm here, but I don't know where my pain points are, so I don't need it. And I'm
Mm.
like here, like saying, no, you need it. And I'm going to tell you why you need my service. You need it because you're stuck. You need it because you don't know how to understand your processes. You need it because you don't have a strategy. You need it because you have a business and you don't know how to make sales. And you need it because this sale is ending today.
Mm.
So all three of those people in those lanes is how you go with identifying how to talk to the objection of the customers.
That's really good.
Mhm.
What are tools you use to segment your customers into those three so that when you send your DM, your email, your automated phone calls, whatever it is, you can make sure that those three different segments are getting three differently worded emails. Look, we're gonna get right back into the amazing podcast. But if you didn't know, in 2017, we created Black Wall Street, the board game, because we thought more families needed to know about the history of Tulsa Black Wall Street. More families needed to know about the legacy of Black excellence left behind of Tulsa Black Wall Street, that we can own a Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Salon. We can have a Booker T. Washington High School. We can have an Uncle Steve's Barbecue. We can have a Renaissance man like Simon Berry, who had his own taxi service and bus service that got bought out by the city of Tulsa. We have brilliance in our DNA, and we wanted to make sure that your family can play a game that teaches them about this brilliance. So we have Black Wall Street, the board game, right here. We had the first edition available in 2017 that got sold out. We're on the second edition right now, or you can get the beautiful masterpiece version of the game as well. It's up to you. Head to playblackwallstreet.com and get yourself Black Wall Street, the board game, to empower you, your family, and generations to come. Playblackwallstreet.com. Let's get back to the episode.
And remember, I told you in the beginning, I hired someone. They didn't do the job right.
Um, that's what that they
That's
messed
what they
up right
messed
That's
up.
here.
what they're supposed to do, right? So I had to spend my time because the goal was to be done, launched, and done all the automation, all those things by beginning of this month. But now I'm taking the lead in debunking it, and I also took the lead on hiring a operational Kartra expert to expedite the experience for me. So now I could lay the foundation and then have people plugged in on certain aspects. Because what I don't want to happen is to have someone mess up something so bad I don't know what to do,
Mm.
or look,
That's one of my
or
fears of hiring somebody is like, especially like for Shopify, hiring one of the
mhm,
Shopify experts to come in and do a nice custom template and all that stuff. So I'm like, what if they do all that? They add the custom code, and now I don't know how to add a new product, or I don't know how to
mhm.
send an email. It's everything's broken.
Right. So I was like, I gotta make sure I know what I'm doing. Y'all froze for a little bit. I gotta make sure
Mm.
that I know what I'm doing. So at least I can guide people in the right direction and make sure when you do have your access, I'm turning off all the other things and you need to focus on this thing. Okay.
Right.
Because what I don't want to happen is this person puts in my stuff and then they leave and then I'm like, well, how do I update this? And I've seen it happen on my end when I've done services for other people and I was trying to help people like, look, this is how you do it. And then I'm gone. They're like, "You're leaving?" I said, "Yeah, we're done. The launch is done. I don't know what to do." I said, "I have
Mm.
videos. I was trying to talk to you about it." Woof, done.
Mm.
I ain't seen that person relaunch since. So
Mm.
Wow.
and that's
No.
sometimes the bottleneck for some people is the automation part and understanding the processes. So on my end, what the goal is so I have my email list at the bottom, subscribers, right? That's the
Mm.
main. thing. And so there will be tips, anything. It'll be called the house list. So this is all be all. This is where you're going to get the insight from. From that house list, I'll send out emails with sales, tips, updates, and have tags connected to each. So depending on what you're clicking on, the system will tag it. Depending on the tags, then you'll get a certain email. And then also you'll get an update saying, hey, you're part of this this campaign. You can opt out of this campaign instead of opting out of my entire subscription, because you might enjoy the marketing insight tips or the coupon codes and all those things.
Mhm.
So segmenting it based off of my sales journey, the brand awareness journey, and also just the random tips and bits.
Nice. And I will say, like, we use Shopify for Black Wall Street, the board game. They're not a sponsor, but if you know a person, hey, come holla at us. And inside of Shopify, you can also add tags and send emails. So we'd have like tags based on who's in Atlanta, who's in New York, who's in California, so we can send specific things to them. We have tags on repeat customers, first time customers, people who bought Masterpiece, people who bought the second edition, people who bought the Black History Adventures of Rose and Rodney. So if we have another book or another movie screening, we know specifically, let's hit up these people. So Shopify is a really great tool. And then MailChimp. Queen, you want to talk about MailChimp?
Yeah, MailChimp has the same feature where depending on how this customer found you or depending on what they clicked on, you can have it automated or you can go in manually and basically add them to which group are they. They're a part of this group. They should receive the recipes. This group should receive the workouts. This group should receive everything. These people are ready to buy. These people are cold. You can really just put in whatever tags you want and figure out which emails need to go to which people. Because to your point, like if someone's ready to buy, you're going to speak to them differently than someone who's like, no, I don't need your service right now, or someone who needs a little bit of priming. So I think that's how you make sure you're getting the right message to the right person.
Thank you for supporting the M4 show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all, any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, anything, all of them, all of them, wherever you're listening, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.